Get ready to work with the world's best drywall lift, the Panellift brand drywall lift from Paragon Pro Manufacturing Solutions. First things first, this is your average Joe. When working with sheet goods overhead, your average Joe always wears a hard hat and safety glasses. Nice job, average Joe. Luckily for average Joe, the Panellift comes in 5 easy-to-assemble parts: the tripod base, the frame housing, a winch handle, the cradle assembly, and a set of cross arms. There's only one way to assemble a Panellift, and that's the right way, from the ground up. And it starts with the tripod base. Press the slide yoke release and slide the yoke up the center leg of the base until the pin catches and locks. Make sure to put the backstop into the down position once the base is open. This will help keep the base from moving, and honestly, you're going to look a whole lot cooler and be a whole lot safer if you aren't chasing it around the floor. Now, take the frame housing and place it on the tripod base. Make sure the angle on the base goes all the way up into the slot on the frame housing, and that the front edge of the frame housing rests behind the mounting guide on the tripod. Once the frame housing is properly seated, you'll need to move the winch post away from the frame. The winch wheel has a built-in braking system that slows your roll and safely keeps your sheet good elevated. Lift up on the red-handled brake arm and allow the winch to roll down into the open position. When the bolt is in the groove, turn it clockwise to lock the winch wheel in place. Feels good, doesn't it? The winch wheel is going to be a whole lot easier to operate with a handle attached. Start the threads of the handle into the wheel by hand, and then use an 11/16 open-ended wrench to tighten it securely. Thanks for staying with us. We promise, assembly is almost complete. There are just a couple more steps. Unlock the latch hook, get your cradle assembly, and place the pin in the hole at the top of the frame housing. Round pin, round hole. It really is that straightforward. For the last part of the assembly, take your cross arms and slide them into the flat triangle mounts on the cradle. Be sure to slide them in until the clips lock in place. Make sure to do both cross arms too. And that's it. Seriously, your Panellift is all ready to use, which coincidentally is what the next part of the video is all about. Let's mount a sheet of drywall to the ceiling. Of course, you'll want to do a safety inspection before you load any drywall at all. Check that the casters are in good working order. Check the entire length of the cable, including the telescoping section, for frays or worn spots. Finally, make sure that the unit is properly assembled and all the components fit securely together. We don't want any extra pieces lying around. The Panellift can hold a 4 feet by 16 feet sheet of drywall and can lift a maximum weight of 150 pounds. That is nearly half the size of a VW Bug. Pull the outrigger release pin on the cradle and extend them out as far as you need to. The pull pin will lock into place at varying intervals, depending on how big of a sheet you're mounting. Now release the mounting head tilt latch on the cradle. Tilt the cradle to the vertical position and lock it back up. This will ensure that the latch locks the mounting head once your sheet is loaded and you tilt the cradle back to level. Now open up the support hooks and check to make sure the backstop on the tripod is down. This will keep the lift still while loading it. Load the drywall face down onto the cradle, resting the edge on the support hooks and letting them do all the work. Tilt the sheet back to the horizontal position. Release the support hooks and check to make sure the tilt latch is secure and lift the backstop from the tripod. Go ahead, put your back into it, average Joe. Now it's time to move the Panellift into position where you want to hang your sheet and turn the winch wheel clockwise, lifting the sheet firmly to the ceiling. Finally, get your ladder, get up there, and get to work. Once you have a few screws around the perimeter, you can move the Panellift out and secure the rest of the screws. That's it. The average Joe has done above average work. Hanging drywall on the wall is an even easier process. In fact, we might even use some of the same footage. Make sure your backstop is down while you load up the sheet. Use the outriggers anytime your sheet is over 8 feet long. There's no need for outriggers this time though. Just load the drywall face down with the cradle in the vertical position. Lift the backstop and move the lift into position on the wall. Once you've found the sweet spot, put down your backstop and start cranking. Let's take a moment and admire Average Joe while he catches up with his voiceover. When you have it in place, tilt the edge of the sheet up against the wall and start putting in screws around the edges to secure it. Move the lift away and finish securing the board the rest of the way. Stellar work, Average Joe. Now, you're a training video hero. Please visit our website, ParagonProMFG.com, and read the complete product manual, which includes full safety guidelines and instructions for mounting on a slanted ceiling prior to operating.